Hey YouTube, this is Gary from Honeybees Unlimited. I'm here with Jody today, one of our top hands, and we're gonna unwrap a mystery hive. I had a neighbor come to me yesterday, and he had recently bought a house, and the previous owners left behind a beehive, and it became a problem for the new tenants, and nobody was working them. So I offered to go pick them up. So we put them up, moved them last night, got them on the yard. So we're gonna go into them and see what they look like. All right, so yeah, we have no idea what we're gonna find in this hive. It was abandoned, and here we go. Take off this telescope and lid. It's junk. We don't use them. We use everything migratory because we're migratory beekeepers. We need them on these pallets. Let's see, we got the top completely propolised up, so there's no venting. So let's see what. I don't think the inner cover is going to survive today. I really wonder when the last time this thing that's been a huge. It's so much rot. Right. It's junk. There's some bees in here. A lot of honey. This was a really heavy hive, so I didn't know what I was going to find. We got in here. A few small hive beetles. Come out of here. Oh, look at that. I got stung. Maybe I should be wearing gloves. You guys know how to take stingers out? I usually just flick them out like that because you don't want to pinch them or like use tweezers, because then what you'll do is you're going to actually pinch the venom sac and it's going to put more venom into your system. This all looks like honey to me, so I'm really not going to spend a lot of time here. We use all deeps in our operation, so we really wanted to get rid of this medium box. Hey, so it looks like a good looking healthy hive. It's got some small hive beetles, but yeah, the bees look good. Maybe they're a little testy. I mean, it's a windy day. Probably haven't had this box cracked open in years. Plenty of honey up in the top. We're gonna go ahead and pull that. I want to see if there's any brood. See if we can get one of these brains out without destroying them. You want to crack them apart first, and slowly work them up. Try not to break any. And I usually, if we have a feeder, I'll usually try to remove the feeder first. But we don't have a feeder in this hive. So then I try to take the second frame out. Make some space. And it's completely packed, covered in honey. My guess is these bees are going to be honey bound. Not have much room for the queen to lay. More honey. Good looking bees. I mean, nice, slow, deliberate activity pattern. Let's go ahead and cut here. I'm going to go ahead and put some gloves on. Usually I try not to work with gloves, but sometimes the bees just won't allow that. And that's why I like to encourage people not to wear with gloves, because it makes you learn to work with the bees a little bit better. They'll teach you what you can and can't do. So far this is looking good. I'm hoping to find some brood. It is December 31st, so that if we find any, there's not going to be much. But I just fear that these bees have no space for the queen to lay. So they're going to be declining soon if we don't enter in and give her some space. Old comb, so it's something we're gonna work out. But there is some laying. There's some eggs in here. It's really hard to see with this old comb, but I don't know if you can see them in here or not. But definitely some eggs. I'm not gonna keep it exposed too long. There's some. There's space. They're not completely plugged with honey. These bees, I think they're going to do fine, and put them in the mix. We'll go ahead and get them treated for mites. I'm not even going to test them. I'm sure they're loaded with mites after sitting unattended for years. So, yeah, I like what we see in here. Next thing we're going to do is remove this junk. As you can see, it's completely rotted up bottom board. I don't hopefully we can. Let me put the frame back in so I can take it apart. Look at that. I got lucky.
Wow.
Well, I was afraid he's going to be attached for life. All right, so get this out of here. Clean this up a little. Let's just make sure the spacing right. Gotta respect the space. Propolis is not going to let us do that today. Last thing I'm going to do is second last thing I'm going to scrape off some of this burr cone. Got that scraped off. We gave them some pollen sub. I want to make sure that I don't have a queen in here. So we're going to go ahead and shake these bees out of this box and pull this honey, because they have plenty of honey in this box. And we don't want to use the medium, so we're going to pull. I want to make sure the queen's not in there, so I'm going to pull everything out of it, and then we'll shake these bees into this. Oh my gosh, that thing's as heavy as a deep. We got bees in here. Bird home. Bees are there. Shake those bees. Give them some honey. We gave them some pollen sub. They're in our yard now. We have pollen dry sub feeders all around. So I'm going to go ahead and close them up. Out, right? I have a feeling because of all this propolis. But as you can see, it's a strong hive. These are good bees. These are going to be good, hardy bees. They're probably going to have a lot more mite resistance than our bees. They may be when we want to graft on later this spring, but for now, we're going to keep building them up, and we'll send them off to California with the rest of our stock. We got lucky. We got a good one. A lot of times when people say, "Hey, I've got this abandoned hive," it's junk. You know, you're just like, "I'm just going to do it to do a good deed, get it off your hands." But this is good. These are good viable bees, and I think they're going to make a good addition to our apiary. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do and you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and send me a comment. Let me know what you think.